Hello, so I know I've not done an update in a while, but that is because this little man was born. He was born on the 26th of April. He was 3 days late, and today I am going to talk about my labour experience. So, where to start? I was in slow labour for about 2 days, and by slow labour I mean I was having contractions, but I just wasn't dilated to 4 centimetres yet. During this process, I went to hospital to get checked because I was having regular painful contractions, and that's when they told me I was only 2 centimetres at the time. So I had to go home and try and deal with the pain at home. I didn't sleep, I didn't eat, it was really, really difficult. So on the day I actually went into established labour, I was at home, and I remember I was having contractions, regular, really painful, and I was trying to hold off at home. I got in the bath to try and see if that would help, and it didn't. Again, I couldn't eat, I was exhausted. It got to the point where I was struggling so much, and I was putting off calling mainly because of the coronavirus, because I knew that I'd rather go into hospital when my partner could come with me, kind of thing. But it got too much. I couldn't handle the contractions on my own at home anymore. Well, I had my partner with me, but I was just really struggling with breathing. So I ran up the hospital and said, if I come in, because I didn't think I was 4 centimetres. I just said, like, if I come in, can I just stay until I'm 4 centimetres and just get some help, like, coping, because I was really struggling. And they said yes. And the minute I walked through the door, the midwife actually thought I was in established labour because I was having such regular contractions. She wanted to send me straight to the main hospital because I was high risk. I had to go to a big hospital. But I was like, no, please. I don't want to be sent home, like, to get all the way there and to be sent back. Can you just, like, check how dilated I am at least first? She said yes. Again, I wasn't expecting to be 4 centimetres, but she checked me and I was. I was fully effaced, 4 centimetres, and ready to go. So she ran the main hospital to let them know I was coming. And she gave me some really good breathing techniques that helped a lot. So I literally got back in the car with my partner and we went to the hospital, really excited. Got straight into the room, got my gas in air, which, by the way, is amazing. I loved that. So yeah, so what happened for 5 hours, I think it was, I had gas in air, just gas in air. I think after a couple hours they checked me and I hadn't made any progress, so they popped my waters to, like, try and hurry it along. So they did that, and Jesus Christ, like, you don't realise how much water there really is in there. It just kept coming because I actually stood up because they tried to encourage me to, like, move around a bit. So I was trying to dance and remain happy in pain. And I remember at one point I was on the floor squatting because I thought I needed to push. It was, like, excruciating. The midwife was on the floor thinking the baby was coming. But what actually happened, because the baby obviously didn't come out, but after those 5 hours I got examined again and I'd only got into 5 centimetres. But the reason why I was in so much pain and feeling like I needed to push is because he was back to back, so it was pressing against my tailbone. So only 5 centimetres after 5 hours, and I caved in and I got the epidural, mainly because of how tired I was. I hadn't slept in 2 days anyway. I needed to eat, but I couldn't eat through the pain. And I was relying too much on gas and air, like, to the point where I wasn't coming off of it. I was just constantly breathing into the gas and air. I wasn't stopping, taking a breath, and the midwives kept trying to get me to, but I was not having it. So I had the epidural, which, for people that are scared of getting that, honestly, if you are exhausted and you just feel like you need to listen to your body, and if your body just feels like it's not coping, then get it. It wasn't, I thought it would be more scary or more painful to have done, but it really wasn't. I mean, when you're contracting, you just don't care. So I had it put in and then started to work, and I managed to get some sleep. In total, my labour was about 20 hours, slightly more. And when I got checked after the 20-hour mark, they checked me because my baby's heart rate started dipping. So they checked me and I was 8 or 9 centimetres. They still said I'd have quite a few hours to go. So it went to emergency C-section. I also thought at the time this might have been a good idea for me because I was still so exhausted and I felt like when it came to pushing, I wouldn't be able to push. and that he'd get stuck. So went to emergency C-section, scariest thing in my life. Like, honestly, it was terrifying. I hated every minute of it. I got the shivers, and not being able to see him straight away was really, really scary. And then even afterwards, because I was so numb, I couldn't even hold him for quite a while. So it was terrifying. I much rather would have preferred to have a natural birth any day, but unfortunately, that's what happened. So that was my labour. My partner only got to stay for about 20 minutes afterwards, which is more sucky because if I had a natural labour, then he would have stayed until I was discharged. But what can you do? I lost quite a bit of blood, I think, because my iron levels dropped a lot. And obviously being a beta thalassemia carrier, that doesn't help because my iron wasn't amazing to start with. But yeah, but he's here now. He is a month old tomorrow. So his name's Theodore. And that is my labour story. My next video, if you guys want it, I'll talk about recovery after a C-section, my time in hospital after a C-section, and then another video I think I'll do like the first month of a newborn, which would include a little bit of talk about postpartum depression, as I am suffering with that, and I had very badly suffered with it at the start especially. So yeah, I can do videos on that. If you have any questions about any of that sort of stuff, or about my labour maybe a bit more, then just comment down below. Thank you.